Hi, my name is Sandra Wilson and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist that works with misophonia and extreme sound sensitivity. So today's video is entitled, Does My Child Have Misophonia? Now, have you ever noticed that your child has become very sensitive to certain sounds? Typically, those sounds might include chewing, breathing, tapping, coughing or throat clearing, amongst others. And these sounds might come from you, the parent, or from other members of your family, like siblings. So you may be growing more concerned that your child's reactions toward these noises is becoming more extreme, and they often have to leave the room very suddenly. So anger is a very common reaction, as well as extreme anxiety or disgust. So you are not alone. Many parents or caregivers whose children I help tell me that they had no idea what was happening to their child or why. Many people who contacted me have never actually heard of misophonia, let alone understand what it is or how it develops. So misophonia is a relatively common condition that's believed to affect around maybe 20% of the population to varying degrees, and it typically starts in childhood. So the main symptom is a strong aversion to certain types of sound, as I've just mentioned, often leading to the child refusing to eat at the dining table with the family, or refusing to sit together in a shared space, for example, to watch a film, watch TV. And children with misophonia often do spend a lot of time alone in their bedrooms, or need to wear headphones around the home to block out sounds. So some children get triggered by sudden or rapid movement as well. That can be part of it. So misophonia is not the same as general sound sensitivity or annoyance, which many of us feel at times. So it's the extreme emotional reaction to the sound and the often devastating effect it can have on your child's well-being, especially as a result of shutting themselves away from their loved ones. So it can be quite a lonely, isolating condition. And you may have noticed that your relationship with your child is becoming increasingly strained, and you may feel that you lack the closeness that you once had. And you might wonder what is wrong with them, or whether it's your fault even. You may feel a lot of guilt, even if you cannot figure out what you have done or failed to do. And the truth is, misophonia is nobody's fault. It's not your fault, and it's not your child's fault. There is still so little that is understood about this frustrating condition, and the research continues. And some researchers believe that it's linked to more general anxiety, OCD, or trauma. Others believe it's neurological and possibly genetic, inherited. So there does seem to be a link with neurodivergence. So for example, ADHD and autism. So the link is not fully understood, rather the cause and effect relationship. It's just that misophonia can show up a little more commonly in children who are neurodivergent. And that's not to say just because your child is sensitive to noises that they are neurodivergent. So as a clinical hypnotherapist who specialises in working with misophonia, my position is that regardless of what causes it, your child's nervous system has somehow learned to respond to these sounds as if they were a threat, even though that does not make any logical sense at all. So the work I do is very much focused on nervous system regulation, removing the emotional intensity of the trigger sound and enabling the child to feel a little more comfortable in situations that might otherwise have upset them or triggered them. So children do not often understand what's happening to them, leading to feelings of shame and guilt. And they can see that their behaviour is upsetting you or possibly causing conflict, and they may feel powerless to do anything about it. And this is why the first step when I'm working with children is often to create a safe space for them to talk, to understand themselves and what's happening to them a little bit, and to understand that misophonia is not their fault. And I can help them to focus on strengths and skills and emotional well-being. And I often use very fun, creative ways to encourage children to think about themselves differently, gently helping them to focus more on hope for the future and to calm their nervous systems in the event of being triggered. So I hope that has helped. If you're watching this on YouTube, I have popped a link to my website in the comments, and if you would like to discuss your child with me, whether I could help them, do feel free to drop me a DM. I hope that's helped, and I'll be back with more content tomorrow. Bye for now.